Raging Gale by James Ryan. Read by the author. Part the 125th. Close hauled from Tortuga. The crack of the jib sail, filling with wind, brought a cheer from the crew of the Raging Gale, her bow rising with the breeze she caught. Hope watched the bow hang for a spell over the waves, as though the ship were opening her arms to the wide sea before her, as they sailed west past the point at Renault. "Aye, my compliments to Mr. Fallard," called Abigail as she eyed the sail. "The new bowsprit holds so well you'd never know we lost her in action." Hope watched as she handed the tiller off to Campbell and came to the fore starboard corner of the quarterdeck. "Full sail!" she called. "Shop to those lines!" Osai called up the foremast. "Mr. Herbert, the pennant!" Abigail called up to him. "She be set," he replied, as he pointed up to her, the winds whipping her towards the starboard side of the bow. Hope divided her attention between the pennant and captain, watching her reaction to it as the wind stiffened the flag. She was like a cat watching a mouse in the corner of the room, waiting for it to come closer. "Hard to starboard!" Abigail suddenly called, before she leapt for the tiller, making sharp pulls to nudge the gale right with every correction. The men moved the yards on the foresails and main topsail to stay with the wind, giving the mainsail as much help as they could to keep her up to speed. At first the gale fought each correction, proudly insisting that its westward heading had the proper course with every push on the tiller. She alone refused to follow the decision of the parley held on decks before leaving Tortuga, believing that the course she was on was better than the ones the crew elected. But despite her resistance, she gave in to the will of the pirates. Slowly she yielded to the stroking of her rudder by Abigail, the grip of the men on her lines, and soon the gale followed the course placed upon to the northeast away from Hispaniola. With the ship now on its new tack, slower than before but heeding its commands, the hands of the lines lessened. Those no longer needed to right the ship took up other necessary positions, the guns and the decks and such. Charity leaned against the mainmast, next to where Hope was taking up position to play. "Incroyable," she said. "I have never seen such resistance from a ship to her crew." "It was certainly a task," replied Hope. "One might think that the ship thought better of our wanting to go to the Mona Passage. Ne soyez pas fou. You'll next be saying that the ship knows something we don't." Hope didn't respond to that comment, but wondered if the Raging Gale did in fact know better than the crew, and had made a futile effort to avoid a bad fate. Thank you for taking this moment with me. If you want to keep up with new chapters as they get posted, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications for when pieces go up.